Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with my first layout using the February kit from HipKit. I'm showing you some of the stuff that I may be using, a lot of the die cuts. And if you watch, I had my February kit haul and then I had paper, photo, and embellishment selection. And I had, pre-selected my papers, put them all together, then I added embellies, and then I added photos or photos and then embellies. And now when I have a few minutes, I just grab the first one on top and I just go with it. And in a few days, I did 4 layouts, no problem. And the last few days, I haven't had a chance to scrapbook. It's been a little busy since the weekend, and but when I do have a few minutes, it's so much faster. So I'm going to trim down my photos using my Creative Memories trimmer. I got that about over 10 years ago. It might be even closer to like 12, 13 years. And it still cuts like it was brand new. And I've only ever used it just for photos. I've never cut anything else with it. No paper, nothing like that. I've just used it for pictures, and I keep it right by my desk and I have it all the time. I never cut my photos with any other kind of trimmer. I've always, since I've gotten this one, that's the one I've used. I've tried a Fisker's one before I got this one, and I ended up throwing it out because it didn't work well. Now, unfortunately, Creative Memories are no longer, or maybe they start another name. I don't know, but they don't make this trimmer anymore. Sometimes you can find it on eBay, and if you're lucky, but I'm sure they want a pretty penny for it. I think I paid $50 for mine at the time, directly from a Creative Memories rep at the time, but I've never regretted purchasing that trimmer. I love it. Anyway, moving on, one of the kits came with the 6x6 paper pad, and I think it was the Embellishment add-on. And I love having 6x6 paper pad. It just stretches your kit so much. For the month of January, I ended up getting 16 layouts, and I count that a lot to the fact that I had a 6x6 paper pad, and I was able to use the 6x6 to mount the photo or do some layers around the photo. And then I was able to use my 12x12s as backgrounds, or, it just really stretched it. I actually ran out of embellishments before I ran out of pattern papers in the last kit. Now I'm already going to be starting layout number 5 with the February kit, so it's moving along quite a bit. And I haven't really done anything since Friday, and today's Tuesday. So I did 4 layouts, boom, 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 right in a row. And I just haven't had time to do the voiceovers and the pictures and all that stuff. So this morning I was able to take pictures of all 4 layouts, and I'm hoping to get a couple of voiceovers done today, and keep going on my layouts. So what I did was I took 1, 2, 3 6x6 papers, and one of them I cut in half and it looks a little bit more stretched. I mounted the photos on some blue cardstock that came in a kit, and then there was a pattern paper from We Are Memory Keepers that are all these doors, and I just roughly cut around all of them, and I cut the whole sheet because I plan on using them all in this way. And there's always one sheet in each kit that I do that, whether it's flowers, circles, or cameras, or if there's a little motif on them, I like to cut it out and then use that as embellishments. Now I'm going to take a couple of gelatos and I'm going to color them. And then I'm going to take also the dilutions that came in the kit, and I'm going to try between the 3 and see which one matches this color scheme better. And it was the metallic mint from the gelatos. Now the other ones, they're not wasted. I'll just end up using it on another layout. Now, these pictures are actually of us driving into Boston. We had gone to Boston for an afternoon, and so we were coming into these tunnels, and but the page is going to have nothing to do about that. And I'm sure I'll do a page someday of the tunnels and stuff like that. But I was just feeling a little philosophical that day when I did this. And if you've been watching me for a bit, you know that if you go back, I've done a lot of pages that are sort of like messages to my kids. So I'm going to attach something to the back here, and I'm just going to write about what I want to talk to them about. And it's a quote and for some reason, these tunnels, and then with the little doors that came, the cut apart, it just reminded me of this quote by Alexander Graham Bell of when one door closes, another door opens. But we often look so long and regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the ones which open for us. So I just want to talk about, the ups and downs of life. And sometimes, a door closes, but don't stay focused on the negative of that. Just look around there. There's always a reason for everything. And, keep hope and faith, and that something maybe even better is going to come along. So that's what I'm going to write in a little pocket on the back. And like I said, nothing to do with these pictures of the tunnels, but that's just what it reminded me of. Like, you go into these tunnels. Usually when you go into a tunnel, it's a tunnel. But these tunnels, you go in and all of a sudden there's like 2 different ways that you can go. And we were like, because it just came upon us so fast that we were like, are we supposed to keep to the right, or are we supposed to, keep going that way, or, because we want to go downtown Boston. But anyway, it just kind of reminded me of that. So that's what this layout is actually going to be about. So like I said, I used a couple different colors of gelatos and the dilution spray that came in the color add-on. And so I just colored a few doors, and the title for this page is going to be When One Door Closes. And so I want to put little doors on this layout, and I just thought that was quite fitting. And there was a cut apart sheet also that were all 3x3 cards, and I just cut that right off the bat before I even started dividing everything up and doing the paper selection and all that. I cut that sheet apart too, because I always get the paper add-on, and I find by getting the paper add-on, which I think is like $9 extra, it just opens up so many possibilities for you, because if you really love a pattern paper and you love both sides, well, by having that second sheet, you have that second sheet that you can use the other side. Or if there's a sheet that's cut apart, you don't mind cutting it apart right off the bat, because you know that even though you love the other side, you have that second sheet that you can fall on and use that on a layout. Now I'm just taking an ink dauber and my black soot distress stain, and I'm just inking all the edges of all the die cuts that I had kind of put aside for this layout. Now, when I put all the paper embellishments together and the photos and the pattern paper, I put every single piece that sort of went together. Now, it doesn't mean that as soon as I do a layout that I'm going to use all those embellishments on one layout. Because when I did put all the photo paper and embellishments, I only had enough for 8 layouts. And but now that I've done 4 layouts, there's some embellishments left from this layout that I put back in my container. And then from each layout, there's stuff that is left over, and I put back in my container, so that once I'm done those 8 layouts, I'm going to go back and I'm going to again sit down, kind of think of what combinations of pattern papers that I can do, go grab some more photos, and just go with that. And that's usually how I end up getting, 10 plus layouts with one kit, is I always go back and see what else I can put together. Now, I'm using an ink dauber that I made myself, and I found these little pieces of woods. They're circle flat, and then the other one is like a little handle. It fits perfectly. I just used my hot glue gun and glued everything together. And I figure by the time, the dauber's done, I can just rip it off and just put another one on. I just didn't have any Velcro at my house when I did these, and I didn't want to wait. I just wanted to do it. Now, I've since gone back to Michael's, bought a few more packages, and to make some more, because I'd like to make, I don't know, about 30, 40 of them, because then I'll have one for each color that I have of inks. And then I had gone to the dollar store and found these little circle labels, I guess. And what I'm doing is I'm coloring it with the ink, and then I take a Lumo color black ink and I write the color of the ink right on top of the dauber. And then that way I know exactly which dauber goes with what. And hopefully I think I show it in, if it wasn't in this video, I'm going to show it in another video what it looks like. Now, I wanted to, I used my Tim Holtz template directly with the ink, and then I used some with some modeling paste. Now I diluted some of the gelatos, and now I'm making some splatters with a paintbrush, and it's that metallic mint again, and it's really shiny. I really love it. I think I better get myself another one of those metallic mint, because I use it all the time, and I only have the small one, and I think it comes in the bigger double scoop size. So I'm going to make sure to get one of those. And then I was on Simon Says Stamps this morning, and actually I think I saw it somewhere else first, but anyway, it's still not available, but there's a whole bunch of new colors for gelatos. So I'm really excited, because I use my gelatos all the time, so I can't wait, to get more. And now I feel pretty good with everything. I've done my embellishments. I did my background. I kind of distressed the background a little bit. So now I'm just going to start putting everything together. And I'm going to use the branding strip that was for this pattern paper with the ombre effect I'm using for the background. I'm going to use it on the layout, so nothing is wasted. Last month when I did my Kill a Kit video, I only had 3 branding strips left, so it's awesome to use those branding strips directly on your layout as you're creating your layouts. So I'm just going to play with those embellishments that I had pulled together, and just kind of try to figure out where I'm going to put them, and then I'm just going to start gluing them down. And then I'm just going to tuck in some of those doors into the embellishment clusters. Now I'm going to use these Heidi Swaps letters that came in the kit, and I'm just going to spell out my title on some wax paper when one door closes. And then I'm going to figure out where I'm going to make it all sit. And my pictures aren't glued down yet, because I didn't know where I was going to put my title. I was trying to not have to keep moving it around. So what I did was, on the wax paper, I just cut all the words all apart, and then that way I could, kind of play with the title and see where I could stick it on the layout. And then I decide I'm going to put it on the left side there, and then I'm going to make the word closes just sit right on top of that branding strip, and then it kind of grounds the whole thing. I'm going to take some of the labels that I had pulled from the kit, and I'm going to cut them in half, and put some of it in one cluster, and then the other piece in the other cluster. I'm going to end up doing a cluster at the top of the layout. And then there was a couple of of washi tape that came in the kit, and they were from Heidi Swap, and they're all different strips of different washi tape, and I'm going to pull one of those out, and they were from Heidi Swap. I think I might have mentioned that, but I'm not quite sure. And there was one with, that's this aqua with white stars, so I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to put it on a few places on the layout. And then one of the strips too said happiness is unforgettable. And then there was also some wood veneer that came in the kit, and there was 3 little round pieces, and I'm going to spread them around on this layout. So here is that washi tape, and I'm just going to cut it down. That one little strip that I took off, I kind of cut it in 3, and then that way I don't have to go down 2 or 3 more to get another piece. I'm just going to make this work and going to use it that way on the layout. Okay, I had to stop the recording because I got this warning on my computer that, you know, the battery was getting low, so I wanted to make sure that it didn't stop the recording. So thankfully this layout is coming sort of to an end. And then I can process it and then put it up on YouTube today. So I'm going to place that title to the left, and then the only thing that I add, and I'm not quite sure if the battery on my iPhone dies. Like I said, I did this layout quite a bit, but I did add some twine from my stash, and then I did add some enamel dots that came in the kit, and that's going to wrap up the layout. And I guess the battery does die before I do that, but you're going to see it in the still pictures of I took some close-ups of each little cluster. So that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.